Hey dolls. Um, if this is your first time stopping by the community, thank you so much for stopping by. I so greatly appreciate it. I hope that after viewing the content, you consider subscribing. This is a great place to be where we build women up, we encourage women, and we get down to the bare nitty gritty about all things for the modern woman over the age of 55, particularly, not specifically, but particularly, because at this big age, honey, we go through things very different than younger women do. And if you are returning or you are already a subscriber, from the bottom of my heart, really seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I so greatly appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to hang out with your girl for a little while. So I'm not going to keep you long today, but I just wanted to have a little story time today. So, if you are a woman of a particular age and you have been on a weight loss journey or your weight has fluctuated up and down for some time now, then this video is just for you. And if you know, baby, then you know. Once you pass that big age of 30, baby, it gets harder to lose this weight, much harder. So if that's something that you feel like you'd be interested in, and hearing and understanding my own personal weight loss journey, then please stay tuned, and let's just get right into this. So, I have promised you guys for a while now that I was going to basically tell you my weight loss journey story. I started my YouTube channel back in January of this year for several reasons. One, because I was on this weight loss journey and I've lost a lot of weight. Let me just say it like that. And so it has forced my fashion journey to change. And since I'm going through all of these major big changes in my life, I wanted to share them with you. Secondly, I started the channel because before I started my channel, I was looking on YouTube for fashion content, excuse me, fashion content that specifically spoke to women in my age group, women that were 55 or better. I'm 59. I'll be 60 in November of this year. And there just was not a lot of content out there, and there were hardly any women out there that look like me. Now, I would like to say that my style is more, I want to say contemporary classic, but with a twist or with a little bit of an edge. I like to find things that are very colorful, that really speak to me and make me happy, and that make me feel good when I put them on. And they have to have some kind of interesting detail to them as well. But outside of that, that pretty much sums up like what my fashion sense is, right? And I just didn't find a lot of that content. There is a beautiful woman that I found on YouTube to follow. Her name is Deborah Berry. If you guys get a chance, please go check her out. She is the quintessential woman in all of her elegance and her glory and her sophistication. I absolutely love Miss Berry. And Miss Berry is 71 years old, y'all. and she dresses her behind off, okay? But she is very classic in the way that she dresses, and I was looking for something that would kind of expand that a little bit. So that is the other reason why I started this channel, because I wanted something to speak to me, um, and I wasn't finding that. But as far as my weight loss journey is concerned, I started my weight loss journey in 2021. Yeah, 2021. Um, my choice was to have gastric bypass surgery done. And the reason that I had gastric bypass surgery was simply because I had packed on so much weight, you guys. I mean, I had gotten so heavy over the years that it just, it was starting to deteriorate my health. I didn't have high blood pressure, diabetes, or anything like that, thank God, because I am predisposed to high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease on both sides of my family. Both my grandparents had diabetes and high blood pressure by the time they were my age. So that started to get very concerning for me. And to make matters worse, I was a smoker. So, you know, there were a number of things that caused the weight loss. I had my son just before I turned 30, and after 30, the weight started to pack on, and I could lose some and then gain some back. And then at 32, I was diagnosed with uterine cancer. So, going through chemo and all that stuff, that made me pick up even more weight. And then just over the years, eating unhealthy and living a very unhealthy lifestyle, being in an unhealthy relationship, like all of that stuff, y'all, it really, really matters. It really does. And it takes a toll on you after a while. I got tired of being on every diet known to man, being on all these diet roller coasters, and lose a little, gain a lot, lose a little, gain a lot. So I consulted a doctor to see if I could, one, qualify for the gastric bypass surgery. Now, there are several different types of gastric surgeries. There's the gastric sleeve, there's gastric bypass, and I think there is one more, and I'm not sure of the name, so I don't want to put any wrong information out here. But I chose the most drastic of the three, which is gastric bypass surgery, where they get rid of 80% of your stomach, and you have an upper pouch and a lower pouch. The lower pouch is a non-working pouch, basically, and your upper pouch is basically the size of my fist, and that's all the food that can fit in there. But please don't get it twisted. This is not a fix-all, right? This is just a tool to be able to better help me manage my weight. But if I start to eat unhealthy again, or eat a lot of junk food, or pick up weight too quickly, that pouch will spread out, and it will get as large. It will allow me to get it as large as I was before. So, this is definitely a lifestyle change. Um, Learning how to eat healthy, learning how to exercise every day and take better care of myself, learning how to take care of my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health, my spiritual health. You guys hear me talk about all the time. God rest her soul, my grandmother, who left me these bracelets. So the thin one was my mother's, and my mother passed away in 2016. And my grandmother wore this one every day, the larger one, and she passed away in 2018. And I think for me, when my grandmother passed away, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, because after she passed away, yeah, I gave up. I just quit living and quit caring about how I lived, to be honest. Um, my grandmother raised me literally. I've never lived with my mother. My mom was very young when she had me. And so my grandmother raised, my grandparents actually raised me. So my grandmother was my mother. And to lose her was just, it was life altering for me, even though it was something that we knew was coming, um, and we knew to expect it. Like, I just wasn't ready. Honestly, I just wasn't ready. And I really spiraled after that. After she passed away, when I tell you that I really started to pack on the weight, like I was picking up 10 to 15 pounds sometimes in a month. Now, that wasn't just because of my unhealthy lifestyle, but that was also because my thyroid was not producing enough hormones um, to force the weight to come off. But I was eating junk food like crazy. I was depressed. Some days I couldn't even get out of bed. It was just, it was really bad. It was bad. And I was in a really, really dark space. And so I got into some grief counseling, which helped me immensely. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this company, but BetterHelp, um, they really, really helped me a lot because I didn't know if I could continue. I honestly, I'm being completely transparent here. Um, I felt like I was ready to quit on life. Not that I was ready to do anything to harm myself, but I was really ready to quit on life. And I'm so, so grateful for all of my wonderful, wonderful friends that prayed for me and that encouraged me, that helped me through that difficult time because um, I was lost. I was lost and completely broken. And during that time, I was in an unhealthy relationship, but because I was grieving, I didn't feel like that was the right time to let that relationship go. I felt like I needed the support of that person when honestly, that person was really no support to me at all. That person was just out for themselves. But nonetheless, that is the gist of my weight loss journey. It is definitely a journey. I am coming up on 2 years in November, and I have managed to really kind of sustain my weight. At my highest weight, I was 258 pounds the day of surgery, which was November 10th, 2021. And today I am at a healthy 124.7, which is, I can tell you that exact number because I just got on the scale this morning. So, um, I fluctuate between 120 and 125, which is healthy for me, for my height, for my frame. I feel better, you guys. Like, now that I've addressed all of my issues, not just my weight issues, but my mental health issues and some of the traumas that I had been through that I had never dealt with, traumas that I thought that I had forgotten about, that I didn't even realize that I had in certain areas. Um, Now that I have dealt with a lot of that and readjusted my life, gotten out of the unhealthy relationship, I can tell you guys that I'm in a space now where I have not been here all of my adult life. Okay. I mean, I have just been going through the motions, to be honest, or for a lack of a better term, going through the motions, just pushing through life. And I know that we as women can do that a lot of times. We go through the motions because that's what we have to do. We have families, we have children, grandchildren, all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, when you have all of these elements, you have to be something different for everybody in your life. And it is difficult to find a space for just yourself, to take care of yourself, to do self care, right? And so, since I have gotten out of that relationship, I find myself doing more self care, guys. And I would encourage you, I would absolutely, at this stage, I would implore you that it is good for every area of your life to find a space that you can carve out that is just for you. It's not about the kids, the grandkids, the husband, the this, the that, the job, the career, the schooling. You got to find a space to find you, because we get lost in all of this stuff. And baby, I don't know about y'all, but I looked up one day and looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. I didn't recognize who I was as a person, right? And I don't ever want to get in that space again. So I just wanted to spend a little time with you guys, and talk to you more succinctly about why I took the weight loss journey. Because, I'm always talking about come take the journey with me. Um, this is a ride. This is a journey for me. I'm starting over, and I'm starting over in all of these areas. I'm newly single. I'm healthier. I'm mentally healthier. I'm spiritually healthier. I'm physically healthier. Y'all, I have great grandchildren, okay? My granddaughter has two grandbabies, great grandbabies. And I mean, two babies that are my great grandbabies. And where I wasn't going to be able to run with them and keep up with them and, play with them and make all the memories in life with them that I wanted to. So I had to do something. And my doctor even told me that, if I didn't get a handle on my weight, I wasn't going to live past 60, because I was on the verge of diabetes. I had pre-diabetes, but I didn't have actual diabetes where I needed to be on medication and all that stuff. But I was pre-diabetic. Um, I didn't have high blood pressure either, like I said, but those things were, starting to show up. Um, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt, my feet would swell up all the time. I have a pretty long driveway, and I park my car in my backyard. To walk from the back of my car to my front yard, I would literally be completely out of breath once I got there. Completely out of breath. So, I knew that I had to do something. If you ladies struggle with your weight, and I know that after 30, it becomes more difficult to lose weight because of some of the things that I talked about. Your hormones slow down, your serotonin slows down, your bones become more brittle past the age of 55. Some of us are perimenopausal, premenopausal, you know, all of those factors play into your weight. If you're not happy, if you're not intrinsically happy, I'm not talking about being able to put on a smile, when you're around people, but if you're unhappy on the inside, like all of that plays a role in your weight. And I would just, here I'm all about building us up and building this community of smart, intelligent, beautiful, classy women who have information that they can use, not just for fashion, because I could dress up in the best clothes every day and be messed up on the inside, and I still wouldn't be happy. So that doesn't mean anything to me. Yes, I have fun dressing dressing up and giving you guys tips and tricks as I learn them, and, kind of going through this fashion journey. And I have always been passionate about fashion. I love fashion, y'all. Like, I really do. I always have, right? But the caveat to that is, if I'm not happy on the inside, it's not going to matter what I look like on the outside. So that is what I chose to do to save my own life. And I am so happy that I did it. Now, going through that surgery, it is a major surgery, and the process is arduous. I was in a year-long program where you had to join support groups and take classes so that you could start to learn to eat better, eat healthier, eat different. Because, like I said, this is a complete lifestyle change. So I had to learn all of that all over again. And by the time we get to this age, honey, we like what we like. Okay. I love my orange sherbet ice cream, and I can still have those things. I honestly can, but everything is about moderation. Everything is about moderation. I can still have all of the same things that I used to have and enjoy, but now it's all about moderation and portion. So those were all new things that I had to learn. Um, After you have the surgery, you're on clear liquids for 30 days. Like, it is a grueling program. Now, I don't know if every doctor makes their patient go through that program, but I know for me, my doctor's program was a year long. Um, and I'm trying to hit all the points. I went through a lot of complications. Some women die after having this surgery, you guys. That's how major this surgery is. Um, I had the surgery November the 10th. November the 13th, I was back in emergency surgery by 6:30 p.m. I had a bowel blockage. They kept me for a couple of days of observation. November the 16th, I had a bowel blockage in a different area, and I was back in emergency surgery. November the 24th, I came home. They told me I was going home. I had started developing fluid on my lungs. I would be fine. On the way home, I literally started spiking a fever, which told me that there was an infection somewhere. I was already on like super strong antibiotics. Um, but Thanksgiving night, I had to go back to emergency. I'm sorry, Thanksgiving Eve night, I went back to emergency and was admitted again. And on November the no, December the 2nd, I believe it was, I had thoracic surgery where they couldn't um, manually drain all of the fluid off of my right lung, and it collapsed and I couldn't breathe, and it was just getting worse. So they did thoracic surgery to remove all of the fluid. So when I tell you that I went through every major complication, I went through a lot. of complications. And, you know, 3 years, 5 years into this surgery, you can still have complications that will kill you. Yes, you can. But the risks outweigh the reward. Or, I'm sorry, the reward outweighed the risks. And it was worth it for me to take that risk. I almost lost my life. I did. But I'm healthy now. My body has made a full recovery. I don't have any major side effects or side issues or underlying medical issues. I'm healthier now than I was in my 30s. So I couldn't ask for anything better. I feel like, they always say, oh, the 60s is the new 50. I feel like I'm 25 all over again. I'm not. I'm not. And I'm not out here trying to pretend like I am. But I feel like I'm 25 all over again. That's how great I feel. But it took for me to do the work. And it wasn't just about the weight loss. I had to do the work in the other areas as well. If you ladies have questions about gastric bypass surgery, please feel free to hit me up in the comments and ask all the questions you want. If you guys want me to do a more detailed video on gastric bypass, what it is, what it entails, please let me know. I absolutely will. I will break it down for you in stages, every stage that I went through. If you have questions, you would probably do best by asking your medical professional, because they are the ones that can um, give you the most current, the best up-to-date information, because things are always changing, things are always evolving, and they get better at this surgery every year. They really do. So if you guys would like to hear more about gastric bypass, please don't hesitate to hit me up in the comments and let me know. But until next time, y'all know the drill. Be bold, be beautiful, be good to yourselves, be kind to yourselves, be you, right? I want all of us to be beautiful, classic, classy, all of the things. But in all of your being, the most important thing you can ever be is to be authentic. And you don't know how to be authentic until you find you. So carve out that space in your life, ladies, where you can be your most authentic selves. And until next time, dolls.